Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new Hangout video right here on Night Owl Video. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is March the 8th. As of the recording of this video, I am kind of sluggish. I guess, well, it's the time change last night, so it takes you a couple weeks to, I don't know about you, but it takes me a couple weeks to kind of get back on track. So the next couple weeks I'm anticipating probably being a little sluggish, but that's fine. The warmer weather is on its way, although it is pouring rain today. It's kind of a dreary day, but we are going to get some sunshine this week and into the double digits, so that makes me very happy. I've already been out and been checking out my bicycle and getting ready for the spring. And so I hope everyone out there is doing well. And if you're new here, this is the Hangout where I encourage you to warm up a beverage and hang out with me. I'm going to be talking about music I listened to, movies I watched, physical media pickups, which was only a couple this week. And at the end of the video, I'll talk about upcoming new release DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks for the upcoming week. So if you like all that kind of stuff, hang out. And of course, sometimes I go off on little side tangents as well. Yesterday, I went to a place called Treasure Hunters, which is a kind of like an indoor flea market, about half an hour up the road from me. Hoping to find some stuff, but I guess with the building a collection and then like downsizing, curating, I'm a little more picky about what I pick up these days, but I did grab a few things. So as usual, get your favorite beverage, get a snack, get out your sketchbook, your needle pointing, pet your dog. I don't know. Just hang out. We're just hanging out. That's all it is. I'm a little off kilter. Oh, trust me. Anyway, I went to this place, Treasure Hunters, yesterday, which is a place I go when I'm kind of bored and I feel like thrifting for movies and music. And usually I end up coming out with a few things. I came out with one thing yesterday. It was kind of slim pickings, but first part of this video, of course, is saying hello and thank you to everybody who has joined or is returning. I appreciate your continued viewership. So the first thing I listened to this week, and most of these, I've never said this, but I listen to music in my apartment sometimes, but a lot of these CDs I listen to in my car when I'm going to work or driving around, things like that. So the first thing I listened to was actually a CD I picked up a few weeks ago. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash from 1977, it looks like. I believe this was their debut album. And I've grown to really like this CD, I should say, mostly because it has a song on here called Hopelessly Hoping, which was on the soundtrack to Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman. And I really like that song. When I heard it in the movie, I thought, wow, that's really, really haunting music. So I picked up the album last year, and then, of course, as some of you know, I got rid of my vinyl collection, and I'm just sticking with CDs now. So, yeah, this is a good album. It's folky, hippie, dippy. It has a bit of, I wouldn't call it like spacey, but it does have some really good atmosphere on some of the tracks. Judy Blue Eyes, Marrakesh Express, Lady of the Island, Helplessly Hoping. It's just a really solid folk rock album. So if you like that kind of thing, there's some acoustic numbers. There's some more, acoustic folk songs with like drums and stuff. It's a good mix of different types of styles. I'm not sure why I'm really mentioning it because I only listened to it very briefly, but I did put on some Miles Davis. This is the greatest hits from Columbia Legacy. There's the track listing. I only listened to this once so far this year. Usually, well, last year I went on a real Miles Davis jag, and I was grabbing any Miles Davis CDs I could find. And this one, if you don't know Miles Davis, this is probably a really good starter. It's got a lot of great tunes on it. The next thing I listened to, which I also only listened to once, but was a pickup I made, probably earlier in the year. It's Tomb Mold with their album Manner of Infinite Forms, put out on 20 Buck Spin Records. They're I would say like an atmospheric death metal band. I think they're Canadian. I think I went through this last time. When I was talking about this CD when I picked it up. I was like, pretty sure these guys are Canadian, but yeah, it's kind of that newer death metal with the big atmospheric reverb and just, I don't know, it's got like kind of a cosmic atmospheric, kind of hard to put into words, I guess, but there's a lot of bands doing that style now, which I kind of dig. It's like taking like the early death metal, like Obituary and Death and those kinds of bands, but like adding more of an atmosphere to it, and maybe big reverbs on the instruments, and lyrically being a bit more cosmic, and I don't know where I was going with that. Maybe adding some like synths or like other instruments to make it, Blood Incantation is like the kind of they're like on the top tier of that, I would say. But there's a lot of great underground bands below that are making great music. Also, a one-time listen in the car this week, I listened to The Very Best of the Byrds. Don't have to say much about this, which is also, of course, related to Crosby, Stills, Nash, Mr. Tambourine Man, Turn, 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 8 Miles High. Lots of great tunes on here. This has got some cool weird packaging, I guess. You pull this thing out, and then you flip this open, and the CD is there. It's a weird packaging. It's almost like one of those, like, you remember those pop-up books where you had to pull the thing and the character would move or whatever. Not great packaging, but anyway, I kind of got into the Byrds a couple of years ago. I was never a big fan of theirs, but I kind of, especially like the earlier stuff. I'm not really into the more like country western sounding stuff, but the big kind of distorted, hazy stuff, you can see how that influenced like a lot of the stuff I like Sonic Youth and My Bloody Valentine, Dinosaur Jr. I did listen to this one quite a bit this week. Dark Throne, Eternal Hails. This is one I picked up a couple of weeks ago at a thrifting haul from Peaceville Records from 2021. On the hunt for a couple other albums by them, but yeah, amazing. When I was listening to this, I was like, dude, that guy Nocturno Culto is the riff master. Other metal bands wish they could be as riffy as that dude. I also finally got around to listening to another pickup I made recently, Sonic Youth In Out In compilation. This has only got 5 tracks on it, but they're quite long songs. It's a bit of, I guess, I don't know if they're all improvised, but it's got that kind of vibe to it. Jammy, spacey, really good. If you're a guitar fanatic like I am, you'll probably dig this. Especially the first track, Basement Contender, I thought was really, really good. Long, sprawling, jammy, like, think like Rock and Roll by Velvet Underground, but like minus the vocals and like 5 times as long. Because I didn't get to see them last week, I'll put in Offspring Smash into the car stereo yesterday, and I was rocking the hell out to this album. This is from 1994. I got this on cassette for my 25th birthday in 1995, and I love that. I love this album, And when I was getting ready to go see The Offspring, which I ended up not seeing because they canceled, I was listening to this CD to gear up for the show, and I kind of remembered how much I love this album. So I remember some of my older punk friends saying that when this album came out, and a lot of people were into this album when it came out, that this didn't really sound a lot like the earlier Offspring, but I don't know any other Offspring except for this and then like the cheesier stuff. But this had Self-Esteem on it, Come Out and Play, Bad Habit. Like there's so many. I was like singing so loud to this CD. It's great. It's great. If you like polished up hardcore punk, this might be your jam. Yeah, it's kind of sad now that I didn't get to see them because I was like, oh, it's actually quite excited. I also listened to briefly Obituary. This is the End Complete from Roadrunner Records from 1992. This is the 1998 reissue. Always been a massive Obituary fan ever since I heard the early stuff, which slowly we rot. Always been a big mark for Obituary. Just gnarly, heavy death metal in the most classic sense. The riffs are like a bit less intricate than other bands, but I think they're just going for pound like heaviness, and they're still going, and my god, they still sound so good. I'd love to go see them in concert. But yeah, but definitely probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, death metal band. I remember when this one came out, it was like slowly we rot, and what's the other one? I forget the other one now, but those first couple albums, I really liked them, but when this came out, it was like Obituary, but like the production value had intensified. The riffs got a little more sludgy and slow, and it's just brutal. It's just brutal. Goodness. The End Complete from Obituary. I also listened to my bootleg rip of Misfits compilation. This has all the hits from the beginning to the end, because the Misfits broke up in 1983, and that's when the Misfits broke up. They reunited a couple of years ago, but yeah, I don't know. This is usually in my spring. As if anybody out there has been watching my channel for the last almost 4 years, spring comes and I get in the mood for some lighter stuff, and it's usually like punk rock and ska and Motown and reggae dub music, and usually the kind of music I like to listen to on my headphones when I'm cycling on the trail, not on the road, because that would be dangerous. But yeah, that kind of music. And The Who, I listen to a lot of Who, but Misfits just like classic. Usually and I also like to watch like old monster movies in the spring for some reason. And I watched, what did I watch yesterday? I watched a couple of like things that kind of got me in that mood for like monster movie kind of. And then I don't know if you're like me, I do like it must be like a spectrum thing, but I do like an association. I'm watching like something that's like, 50s B horror movie, and then that gets me thinking about drawing some pictures of monsters, and then that gets me thinking about what kind of music can I listen to accompany that activity, and then the Misfits, and then on and on it goes. And then related but not in a way, I also grabbed Motown Classics Gold. This is a 2 CD set. I picked this up a couple of years ago, and it is an outstanding. I don't know if you guys can see, if you want to pause it and see the track listing, but it's stellar. This is one of those United Music Company. It's from 2005 via Motown Records, and it's from the Universal Chronicles I don't know if it's a sub-label or just like a series, but you see a lot of these, you'll see the artwork for the covers look the same on a lot of these, like best of, Joe Cocker or whatever the hell. But I do love Motown. I've always, ever since the probably mid 90s, I fell in love with Motown. And these two CDs are so good. I mean, I've had a bunch of different Motown compilations in my lifetime, but this to me is really, really, really good. The packaging is not so good, but it's one of those stupid flippy things. But yeah, it's really solid. And I don't know, I just like listening to upbeat, kind of groovy music in the spring, getting ready for the summer. In fact, I heard the song Heat Wave yesterday when I was driving. But this has, Money, That's All I Want, Please Mr. Postman, Beat You to the Punch by Mary Wells, My Guy, Dancing in the Street, Shotgun, Stop in the Name of Love, everything. And a newer favorite is Martha and the Vandellas, Jimmy Mac. That's a great track. So yeah, if you've never heard Motown, this would be an awesome place to start if you didn't know anything about Motown, but it's great. Yeah, I'm actually, just looking at the track list, I'm actually really excited to go for a drive in my car and listen to it. So that's all I listened to this week for music. Let me know what you listen to in the comments below. Time for a little sip of some coffee. The birds are singing. The squirrels and chipmunks are going nuts outside my window. It is, spring is on its way, baby. March 20th, so we got another, 12 days. Then, as far as things I watched, last night I finally got around to watching Housebound. This is a New Zealand horror. They call it a horror comedy, but I actually rewatching it last night, it's really more of a horror movie. Or like a horror mystery, horror suspense. I don't know, a lot of people call it comedy, but there's definitely some really funny parts in it, but moreover it's quite spooky. I won't give away the premise, because if I did, you didn't see it, you would be upset. This is from 2014. This is actually put out by the new, now old Anchor Bay. And then now Anchor Bay is new again, but it's that era of Anchor Bay with that logo. As you can see, this was a 3 for something. Originally $30, marked down to $8. I believe that's a Sunrise Records sticker. This was a winner at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival in 2014 and the Fantasia International Film Festival in 2014. This is a really fun movie, and I think it's one that maybe a lot of people missed, or just because it was so kind of indie, and indie wasn't as trendy back in 2014, but it's really fun. It's a fun movie. It's just, and honestly, laying here last night watching this in the dark, I was like, this is actually pretty spooky in parts. I mean, you can tell by the cover that there's some potentially some supernatural stuff going on. I won't spoil it again, but if you like trapped in a house and weird things are happening, noises and things go missing, and you might be able to put 2 and 2 together, but it has a really good mystery element to it. The house that they used to live in was an asylum for youngsters, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, really fun if you can get your hands on it. I don't see this movie out and about when I'm thrifting. This was directed by Gerard Johnstone, and what else can I say? I think I felt like Peter Jackson did love this movie. I can't remember where I read that, but it got a lot of praise from people who saw it. So if you can find it, I don't know if it's streaming in Canada right now, but yeah, cool movie. The acting was great, actually. The lead actress, and I don't know what her name is, but see if I can see it here. Morgana O'Reilly. She was really, really convincing in the film. It's basically this girl here that's her mom and her stepdad, and then a little friend. But she basically gets arrested for trying to break into a bank machine, an ATM, and then instead of going to like a facility, she gets house arrest at her parents' house. So she has to move back in with her mom and her stepdad, and so there's tension there. And they live very like old fashioned, they've got a dial-up computer and they watch Coronation Street and drink their tea, and she's just like very rebellious and trying to kind of come to terms with herself and what she wants to do. And it's just a really fun movie, and it's kind of like it's all set in the house. The whole movie is basically in the house, so you kind of get into this zone, like you feel like you're right there. It's, I don't know, hard to explain, but it's fun, it's cozy, it's scary, it's funny, it's quirky, it's got some twists and turns. Great. Okay, I feel like I've praised that movie enough. Another movie I'm not going to talk long about. I did rewatch King Kong from 1976. Dino De Laurentiis presents a John Guillermin film starring Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin, and introducing a young Jessica Lange. This is the first movie I ever saw in the theater. At the tender age of 6 years old, my stepdad took me to see this, and it left a huge impression on me. And I've talked about this movie a bunch on my channel, so I'm not going to, spend too much time. But there's the original cover artwork, which even now they're trying to hide a bit. But he's on the Twin Towers, and look at that. For years I've been thinking I'd love to get the poster for this movie and have it on my wall, so maybe I'll finally pull the trigger. This is the collector's edition Blu-ray and DVD set from Scream Factory. From what year did they put this out? Doesn't say. I don't know. Yeah, but this is the one I grew up on. This will always be my favorite King Kong movie. I like the original. I like some of the newer ones they've done, but for me, this is the one I always go back to. It's just nostalgia. It's just pure nostalgia. It didn't age particularly well in some parts. But I just still love it. And yeah. This is the 2-disc set. It has the theatrical cut and the extended broadcast television cut. New 2K scan of the additional TV footage, restored theatrical audio, radio spots, TV spots, theatrical trailer, and still galleries. I did watch the theatrical cut. I'm curious. I'm going to have to watch the extended broadcast television cut. Sometimes I think back in the old days, like back in the 70s, they would add footage in to, like with Halloween, they added in some footage to kind of extend the runtime of the movie so that they could make it like maybe a two-parter, or maybe it's like a 3-hour epic, and they put in lots of commercials and stuff. Also, going back to the 70s, I finally got around to watching Escape to Witch Mountain. This is an early Disney film from, I think it was 75, wasn't it? This is the 2009 DVD release. I think, yeah, 1975, yeah. And I honestly can't remember. I think I might have seen this on like Disney, like Sunday night Disney, back in the old days, but I really didn't remember much about it. I remember the kids in the movie more. Like maybe I saw them in science fiction magazines and stuff. But this was a fun little watch. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I might just move it on to somebody else. But it's fun. It's they say it's a beloved family classic. I don't know. Maybe it was really popular. I don't know. This has interview with director John Hugh. There's a animated short, Pluto's Dream House. There's a special Disney effects, something special, a 1975 studio Disney studio album, and there's audio commentary. So Yeah, it was fun. It's a kind of like a sci-fi family movie, I guess. Bit of mystery to it. This has Eddie Albert, Ray Milland, Donald Pleasance is in here, Kim Richards. It's yeah, fun little movie. I don't know if this is on Disney Plus, but if you're looking for lighter fare, and in the last few years, the more and more I get away from like the blood and guts and all that stuff, I actually kind of prefer like just kind of a nice family movie, or something a little lighter, and revisiting some of these old classics that I've forgotten about is kind of fun. So yeah, if you like that kind of thing, it's very, it's very, it is of its time. I finally got around to, I just bought this a couple weeks ago and finally got around to watching William Friedkin's Sorcerer, starring Roy Scheider. Um, this is from 1977 as well. This is the Warner Brothers basic bare bones edition. There's no special features on it, which I didn't realize when I bought it. Soundtrack by Tangerine Dream. Um, Written, directed by William Friedkin. I had never seen this movie. This movie got way, way hyped to me. I know Vengers out there wondering my thoughts on this film because they commented about it. I really liked it. I can't say I loved it. I really liked it. I thought it was a very cool movie. I thought especially the last half an hour, 40 minutes was really, really intense. This is about some guys, some criminals who are banded together to deliver these explosives in these really rickety trucks over like old wooden bridges in the jungle and shit. The ending is very intense. I was actually getting near the end of my chair, like the edge of my seat. Very, very intense. I don't know if I would watch it again. I liked it. I love the soundtrack, was cool. I'd actually kind of like to get my hands on the soundtrack. This is William Friedkin proving what a masterful filmmaker he is. The cinematography is really, really good. Like I said, there's a picture of the rickety bridge on the back, like that scene. Wow, it was kind of, not to sound cliched, but pulse pounding. Yeah. Um, I've always liked Roy Scheider. He's a great actor. He does a great job in this movie. I will say the delivery of the plot was a little muddled, I thought. Um, like, there was parts, and again, I'm not going to say I'm not smart, but like, I struggle sometimes with understanding what's going on if the setup is too muddled, and I felt like they didn't explain it very well. There was a lot of subtitles. I was getting confused about like all these different. This is basically like bringing together all of these like bad guys to do this heist, or this like delivery, kind of like a poor analogy, but like Smokey and the Bandit. It's like you got 24 hours to deliver this truck full of beer. It's like you've got X amount of time to deliver these trucks full of like explosives, and they're very sensitive explosives, so the least little thing will like set them off and of course blow up the truck. So you got to be really careful. And then they're on top of that, they're on these rickety like jungle roads, and like roads that go around these cliffs, and you're looking down over the cliff. And if you like that kind of thing, you'll probably really love it. I'm glad I saw it. I may keep it in the collection for a while, revisit it down the road, and see if I want to keep it. But it was a great, great movie, and I recommend it if you like those kinds of movies. But if you're like me, and I'm easily confused by muddled storytelling, I found it just, and again, maybe I'm just not as clever as some of you, but I did find it a little, it's like, who is this guy and what are they doing? On the totally opposite end of the spectrum, I rewatched Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Nick Stahl, Claire Danes, and Christiana Loken, who I think must be the female Terminator. This is a guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people really don't like this movie. If you're a fan of the first two movies, this is not on the same level, but I do just throw this on for, I'm not even going to say it's a guilty pleasure. I just like this movie. It's fun. I turn my brain off. There's robots and explosions and Arnie's in there, and there's a cool female Terminator, and Nick Stahl is tolerable in this movie. He's not one of my favorite actors, but I thought he did a good job in this. Claire Danes was good, and as you can see, I picked this DVD up for $2, so not a huge investment for, every couple of years I'll throw that on just for fun. And guys, I'm not going to spend any time talking about these last three. As you know, in my last Hangout video, I was watching the first 3 Resident Evils. This time around, I watched the last 3 Resident Evils, and thank God was the end of this series. No offense to what's her name? Mila Jovovich. I really liked her in these movies, but these aren't good movies. This here is Afterlife, Retribution, and the final chapter. And to me, these are all this. It's just, I think I've determined that I like the first Resident Evil, and then after that, I just kind of, I don't know. They're all the same to me. I don't really. It's like the little blue computer girl. You're all going to die down here, and it's like, my name is Alice. I work for Umbrella Corporation. And it's the same thing. Like, there's really not much variety in them. I'm trying to, and like, again, it's like hard to remember what went on in these movies. I thought it was maybe Retribution that I think that was the one where there was a lot of scenes where they were in like white hallways and stuff. I did like that, that look or whatever. And I thought Mila Jovovich was quite badass in it. But yeah, I don't know who these movies are for. It's like when the Hobbit movies came out and everybody was shitting on the Hobbit movies. And I said, yeah, but if you want to go back to Middle Earth, it's another chance to have a little taste. And it's like with these ones, it's like, if you watch the first Resident Evil, for me anyway, and again, it might be like a Spectrum thing, I don't know. I feel like I have to watch the rest of them, even though they're not that good. But I do believe I will be paying these ones forward to somebody, just because I don't foresee myself wanting to watch those again. And if I did, I'll see if they're on streaming. And if they're not, I will just say, oh well. Then I also, and so these are pickups and watches. So I also watched the new Toxic Avenger movie. And I also bought this. I found this at Walmart for $9.97, brand new. So I was like, yeah, you know what? For $10, I'll pull the trigger. Didn't know anything about it. I see it's Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, and Elijah Wood. So I was like, okay, well, I know Elijah Wood's like a huge horror movie fan and wants to do like some remakes of some classics and stuff. So I was willing to check this one out. I thought the look of Toxie was pretty cool. Peter Dinklage plays the Toxic Avenger. And this was fun. This was just like, again, like just turn your brain off and just go for it. This will probably stay in my collection for a while. I would definitely like to rewatch this. For the record, I am not a trauma film fan in any way, shape, or form. I think I saw Toxic Avenger, the original, back in the old days, but I don't really remember it. Just wasn't something I was really into. But this is fun. The acting is hilarious. Elijah Wood looking like the Penguin from Batman Returns in here. I just thought it was really fun. It's got some really good gore in it, some good kills. For those of you who don't know, it's a guy who's a janitor at a toxic waste plant, and he gets thrown into a vat of toxic sludge, and he comes out looking like that. And then he sort of becomes like an anti-hero, and it's his quest to stay alive and take down some bad people. This is rated 18 in Canada for explicit violence. I don't think this doesn't have any special features on it, but that's okay. I was just in it for the movie, but yeah, I can't say how this compares to the original, but this was just a fun romp. It's fun to see some A-list actors in a sort of a big budget B movie or a bigger budget B movie. It does look quite low budget though, but it's cool. It's really cool. Collider says a bonkers and bloody delight. So if you like that kind of thing, if you like that, now I just recently picked up what was that movie I picked up a couple weeks ago that was supposed to be really like Street Trash. It was supposed to be like really like nuclear goop, gore, over the top, face melting, and I actually thought the new Toxic Avenger beat that hands down with the green nuclear sludge and the gore, and some of it was CGI blood, like CGI gore, which I'm not a big fan of, but I think a lot of it was practical, and yeah, it was fun, just fun. I also picked up this is an upgrade for me from DVD, which is a movie I found, I think 2 years ago. Around this time of year, actually, I found this in a thrift store, and I heard some people saying some good things about it. This is from producer Sam Raimi and director Alexandra Aja. This is Crawl. I got this on Blu-ray. I do have the DVD, but I wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray. And still has the old Slippy Dippy from Walmart. Yeah, I discovered this movie a couple of springs ago, and this movie, I love this movie. It's so good. This is a really fun movie to watch in like the spring when you have like a real torrential rain downpour. I don't want to say cozy, but like it's a great like Sunday afternoon rainstorm, just get under a blanket and get some treats, and it's just a fun well, I don't want to say monster movie, but I guess in a way it is. So yeah, if you've never seen this, if you like giant crocodiles, I guess it's a fun movie. It's about a father and a daughter who are trapped in a house during a big monsoon, and there's these killer crocodiles, and it's great. This has bonus bites, all new motion comic of alternate opening, deleted and extended scenes, over 45 minutes of bonus content. So this is an intense little movie if you like those kinds of things. I was like happy to add this back into my collection as a Blu-ray. I'd like to see it in high definition. And then the last thing I picked up was a VHS, surprisingly. It's an old Disney TV show called Bone Chillers. I guess it was like Goosebumps, but this is from Buena Vista Home Video. And this is 2 episodes. You've got Back to School and Teacher Creature. It's pouring rain right now. Maybe I'll be popping this on this afternoon. This is a creature feature, no, not creature feature. This is like the slimy, like gross out kids shows from the 90s. I don't know if this has a year on it. I don't see a year on it, but I think it's definitely 90s. It definitely has that look. And I did watch this yesterday. I just bought it because it looked weird and cool. It was fun. It's actually really gross. It's like, I think back in the 90s with the kids shows, they were trying to like outdo each other, and it's really, really disgusting. In fact, sometimes I looked away, but mostly because it was involved with like bugs and food. I don't know, I can't go there, but so those were my physical media pickups this week. Let me know if you've seen any of those or any of the music I listen to is your favorites. We're nearing the end of this Hangout video, but I always let you know what's coming out on physical media for the upcoming week. This coming week, March 10th, is Physical Media Release Day here in Canada, and we have One Battle After Another coming out on 4K and Blu-ray. I don't think... Is this a steelbook? Yes, so there is a Steelbook Blu-ray coming out for that. That's the one that won all kinds of awards last year, or I guess awards this year, but it was made last year. This is there's a Steelbook 4K plus Blu-ray coming out on March 10th. This was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and there's also a regular 4K one disc release and a Blu-ray one disc release. So I still have not seen that movie. I don't know why it doesn't scream out to me as something I need to watch, but maybe I'll watch it and be pleasantly surprised. Devil's Advocate is coming back on 4K. This is Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino from 1997. Criterion is putting out the Louis Buñuel film Viridiana on 4K. A Bugs Bunny collection, What's Up Doc, from 1930 to 1969. I wonder how much that is. That sounds like it would be quite cool. Megan and Megan 2.0 are coming out in a 2-film bundle. The Bestie Bundle, it's called. That's coming out on 4K as well as Blu-ray. We also have Cape Cod Cthulhu coming out from last year on Blu-ray. Rango is coming out on 4K. I don't know if that's the first time that's been on 4K, but we also have a film called Blue Sunshine, which is one that I'm kind of curious about. This is coming out from Synapse Films. This is a 1977 film. This was directed by Jeff Lieberman, and I don't know much about this, but it looks like something I would like. A 70s weirdo sci-fi surreal kind of thing. So I don't know. I might have to check that out. Let's see what else we have. Bunch of stuff I've never heard of. Holy Mac. There's a John Wick 5-film collection coming out on Blu-ray. So if you're into that stuff, I'll just list off the other ones quickly because I don't know what they are. Jim Haggerty's Unnatural Causes. Decadent Evil. Picture of a Nymph is coming out. I believe that's... just trying to see what that is. That's from 1987. It's I think it's a it's like a Taoist monk martial arts type thing, directed by Wu Ma. Don't know much about that movie. Let's see what else. Am I boring you to tears yet? There's something called Decadent Evil 2 coming out from 2007. Busted Babies from 2024. There's a anime called Possibly the Greatest Alchemist of All Time, the complete season on Blu-ray. Little Amelie is coming out on Blu-ray. The Paranormal is coming out on Blu-ray Collector's Edition. Coven of the Black Cube is coming out on Blu-ray. That looks like being put out by a company called Blood Sick Productions. Don't know anything about that. But yeah, I would say the main things are One Battle After Another, of course, is the big thing. What is this? And guys, believe it or not, we have another Friday the 13th coming up this Friday. And on that Friday, sometimes they release music on Fridays. There is a Blu-ray of Rush, Grace Under Pressure. So that looks like it might be interesting. I don't know why the list price is $504, but it's a 5-disc set plus 4 CDs. Wow. Okay. So if there's any Rush fans out there, I'm a pretty big Rush fan myself, but I don't think I'd be paying $500 for that. But that's basically everything that's coming out this coming Tuesday on physical media. Let me know if any of those ones are ones that you think you'll end up picking up. I don't think there's anything in that lot I would be picking up on release day, but let me know. Next week, there's a few things, but not a lot. It's weird. As the months and years go on, especially in like the last year, I'm picking up less and less on new release day. So, you know, if this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would be grabbing like, you know, one battle after another, and um, Blue Sunshine and the Megan 2 pack, and you know, I'd be like just buying up a lot of stuff. Now I'm a little more picky about the stuff that I buy, especially new releases, because they're so expensive now. But yeah, I'm a little trying to be a bit more mindful. But guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Let me know what you thought of the movies and music that I talked about. I don't get a huge pile of interactions with you, but for the people that comment and give me the thumbs up and all that, I appreciate your support. I did the first reaction video to Scream 7 this past week, which got quite a few, actually more views than most of my videos usually get. So I'm thinking I might be switching back to more of a short form thing coming up in the next month or two, just because this, I don't know. Seems like the short form video people prefer. I like doing these hangouts, but I also, again, with the way I am, it's like I get bored of doing the same thing over and over. I have to like constantly be changing it up. You know, the shirt that says on the spectrum but undiagnosed. Yeah. But yeah, I love talking about physical media with you guys. I don't get to talk to you one-on-one. I know I've talked about doing a live stream. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. There's a lot of other things going on. I think I might become a dog walker soon for somebody who is having some surgery done. So I might be doing some dog walking, which will be something different for me. It's a Chihuahua. So I may be more busy in the coming weeks and months as well. So we'll see though. But I'll always be here in some iteration. So anyway, let me know your comments below, what you thought of this video and the stuff that I talked about. Would love to hear from you. And that's it for today. You know the drill. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.